you need to stop thinking like this if you ever want to get ahead financially.
Your environment is a huge factor, right? It plays a huge factor when it comes to success and fulfillment in life. Once you know how to multiply money, you don't have to chase money. Money chases you.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 for my top 10, top 10, 9. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to change your belief system, change your environment, and get more productive with Dan Lok and my take on his top 10 rules of success, volume 16. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Change your belief system.
Have you ever wondered why you work very hard yet you don't get ahead financially? I remember when I was 18, 19 years old that I was hustling and trying to do side jobs and try to make a living, try to support my mom, but I could never get ahead financially. I was desperate for money. I wanted to make more money to be able to provide for my family, but I could never get ahead. And I realized that there is something in my belief system back then that was holding me back. So you need to stop thinking like this if you ever want to get ahead financially, if you ever want to be successful, if you want to be rich. You see, money is a very interesting thing. Money doesn't go to the people who are desperate for it. That it's not enough to say, I want to make more money, that, oh, I want to increase my income, that I want to pay off that debt. That's not enough, right? If you want to make more money, money earned is a byproduct of value creation. So at the time I wanted to make more money, but I couldn't make more money because I wasn't upgrading my skill sets. If you want to make $1 million, solve $1 million problem. Right? If you want to make $100 million, solve $100 million problems, right? So don't chase money, chase problems. What are some of the problems that in the marketplace that you could solve, maybe only you could solve, that you could bring to the marketplace?
Rule number 2, change your environment.
Sometimes I do see your question about, well, Dan, the environment I'm in a small city and things like that. Move. Get out of the environment, right? Your environment is a huge factor, right? It plays a huge factor when it comes to success and fulfillment in life. So if you don't like where you are in, where you're located, and there are not a lot of opportunities, move. You see those signs, right? Highway, you can get in a car and move. You get on a plane and move. If you want it bad enough, do it. Find a way, whatever it takes, because you need to operate in an environment where it is beneficial and supportive of the vision that you have for yourself. So I think location matters a lot, and I think environment, if anything, look at environment, meaning who you surround yourself with. If you don't have a lot of good people that you could surround yourself with where you're located, you have to get out of there. You have to go to places where the action is at, right? Where things are happening. Maybe it's a big city. It doesn't always have to be a big city, but you'll see the people that you meet, the people that you are able to interact with. Opportunities just they open up.
Rule number 3, get more productive.
In front of a computer, you're working on it, let's say 2, 3, 4 hours straight. Non-stop. You notice how you lose focus and you get fatigue.
Yeah.
Right?
Productivity.
You notice like you can see like at first first hour, but then even you're doing the work, but after a few hours you're like you feel your productivity is going down after like 4 or 5 hours, right?
Hey, how long we been here anyways?
37 minutes.
What? 37 minutes? That's insane.
Yeah, so because human beings, we're not designed to do that. Our brain and all that, we actually design the way that we work as more like a sprint, right? So work intensely, could be 40, 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
Yes.
Break. Then do another 45-minute break. Right? That's how I recommend you to schedule your time. We're not designed to work 5-6 hours straight, no break.
Yep.
You know your productivity, right? You're not very productive after a few hours because we are not designed. That's why we lose focus and you kind of see the stuff blurry in front of you.
Yeah.
You're not as sharp, you're not as clear.
Rule number 4, have a purpose.
Why Elon Musk? Why Jack Ma? Why Warren Buffett? Why Bill Gates? Why all of them still work? You look at the Forbes 500, the 500 richest people on the planet. Guess what? They all still work. Most of them still work. Why? They don't need the money, right? This is a poor person's question. I'll tell you why. Because you don't know what retirement is like. When I retired at age 27, I was bored out of my mind. See, most people who have the employee mentality, because they hate what they do. They don't like what they do. So they have this fantasy, they want to get to a point where I don't have to work anymore. I don't need to go to work, right? They'll be sitting on a beach, being a beach bum or something all day, right? And they think that's my ultimate dream, because that's how they've been fantasizing this whole thing. When the wealthiest people on the planet, they have retired. They have retired not from something, not doing nothing, but they have retired to their businesses, what they're passionate about, what they love to do. They wake up every morning, there's a purpose, there's a sense of purpose. There is something that they look forward to. Versus most people, there's nothing they look forward to. They don't like what they do. They're not good at what they do, right? When you have actually experienced it, you probably have not experienced it, but if you have experienced it, then you know that retirement is not what it's all cracked up to be. It's boring. And if you look at a lot of studies, a lot of people who retired at age 65 when they got nothing to do, guess what? They are bored, and shortly after that, they die. Because there's no purpose. As a human being, we need to grow.
Also, if you want to have more confidence and self-love, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
After you practice martial art, you develop this natural self-confidence. Not cockiness, but you develop this natural self-confidence. That's a problem with young people. You're not good at anything. Oh, I'm so good. No, tell me the truth. You're not good at anything. Remember this. Your business is always a reflection of you.
Rule number 5, learn how to multiply money.
Money secret number 5, and that is money moves to those who know how to multiply. I want you to look at the richest people in the world. Some of the richest people in the world, they are money managers. They are investors. Now, why do people throw money at them? Because they know how to multiply money. They know how to generate good returns for their investors. It's very simple. Once you know how to multiply money, you don't have to chase money. Money chases you. I remember back then when I was a teenager, when I was asking the bank to give me a credit card for $1,000, and they wouldn't give that to me. Why? Because back then, I didn't know how money works. I didn't know how to multiply money, right? They wouldn't even give me a credit card, a limit of $1,000. And now the banks call me and say, Mr. Lok, do you need a loan? Do you want to buy a building? Do you want to expand your business? We're more than happy to give you a huge line of credit, unsecured. Why? Because they know I know how to multiply money now.
Rule number 6, provide great customer service.
Recently, I was in Los Angeles, and my team and I, we went out for dinner one night, and we went to Korean Town. Now, Korean Town, there's a famous Korean barbecue place. So we reserved a table, we showed up. It's a very interesting experience I want to share with you because there are a couple key lessons, key customer service lessons from there. First of all, we showed up and we were waiting for almost half an hour because the place is packed. So I was getting a little impatient, right? A little like, what's going on, right? Because my time is valuable. Right, just waiting, and all of us, a dozen of us, are waiting for the table. And so before going in, I know the place is good, but I was like, man, I don't know. Just like so my expectation was like not so good. I don't know. I know the food is good, but I don't know how good the experience is gonna be, right? So before we were seated, we weren't in a very good mood, right? And so we wanted to sit together, but because they don't have a table of that size, we were forced to sit in 2 separate tables to separate. And Jenny was like, oh, this is no good. So starting out, I was already like, okay, the waiter, they're not getting any tips here. I don't care if the food is good, they're not getting any tips because the customer service is not that good. Now, however, once we were seated, then you have the waiter coming and explaining the different types of food that they have. Now, they serve meat, it's Korean barbecue. They have like different kinds of beef, so many different kinds, right? They barbecue, I don't know, like different parts of the beef and different kinds of beef. Very, very delicious. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to Korean restaurant, they give you a lot of free appetizers. So each one of us got like a lot of these small bowls of appetizers. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty good, right? So we ordered the food. The waiter actually came to our table and we have this like grill in front of us. And they would actually cook for us. They would cut up the meat and they would cook it and then they would serve us. I'm like, okay. Now, remember at the beginning, my expectation was here. You see, when it comes to customer service, a lot of that has to do with managing expectations. We were eating, it's great, it's awesome. Like, okay, this is like, it's better. And the waiter actually was taking the time to educate us on different types of meat that we can order. Like which one, oh, you want to try this one, you want to try that one. But then he did something very smart. And that's what I want to share with you. Near about 2/3 of the way, so we ordered drinks and pops, and Desmond drinks his beer, right? If Desmond, you're watching this, right? And then it's good, we're having a great time, we were chatting, we're eating. And about 2/3 in the way, they were bringing us free drinks. They say, hey, you know what? They brought along a couple bottles of beer and they brought a lot of pops and drinks, just boom, put a table on the house. Now, you don't see this in an Asian restaurant a lot, just so you know. I'm like, this is smart. First of all, the drinks cost very little money compared to what we eat. We feel like, wow, this is very nice. We get free appetizers, now we have free drinks. But here's the thing, by the time we were almost done eating, even you give us more free drinks, we can't finish them anyway. So chances are, they'll take this back to the kitchen, right? So we're not consuming the free stuff, but the feeling was very good, right? And at the end, we actually end up tipping the waiters quite a bit, over tipping them. So customer service, what could you learn from this story? A few things. Number one, managing expectations. Number two is the little thing. It's a little thing that counts. When you have provide those the nice small gestures, right? The small little things, not the big things, that people remember you. People remember what you've done. You go that extra mile, right? And number three is educating your customers. Because I always believe an informed customer is a better customer. So imagine we're just eating the food, maybe we didn't order the type of meat that would taste good, but by educating us, okay, if you want this kind of texture, you want this kind of taste, you want marinated, not marinated, you want different parts of the beef, by educating us, then we're like, okay, this is nice, right? And how to properly eat the meat, right? Even, okay, you mix it with the sauce, this is what you do you dip in this, and this is how you eat, okay, it creates a better experience for us.
Rule number 7, spend your time and money wisely.
Young people, just like myself, when I was younger, we would spend time on playing video games, right? And you would spend a lot of time watching, following sports, right? Watching this game and that game. And before you know it, you're wasting a lot of time. Instead of using that time to improve yourself. Because when you're 20 years old, you don't think about 30, 40, 50 years, right? When you're 50, when you're 55. But I'm telling you, it feels like yesterday I was 21. And a blink of an eye, you're now 30. A blink of an eye, you're 40. Time passes by so fast. And you would wish that, hey, you know what, if I didn't waste that time doing all those super things. And I'm not saying don't play game. I mean, I've got a PS4 and Xbox, right? I play it from, I don't know, a couple times a month. You just don't want to do 3 hours of gaming every day. Unless you're a streamer, that's how you're making your money, then you know what, no problem with that.
I think it's mostly the mobile games too. That's
Yeah.
what really gets
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Mobile games, like, oh, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here.
And especially those mobile games where you gotta buy more
The
coins.
microtransactions.
Oh, microtransactions.
You know it. You know
it, right? Where, hey,
Oh,
they
man.
hook you in with free game. Before you know it, you're spending hundreds of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
There was a game that I bought, which is a Chinese game, like a Three Kingdoms, like a strategy game, free download. Before you know it, I was blowing hundreds and hundreds of dollars, right? It's stupid, right? And that money is something that you could use towards educating yourself, not just formal education, but self-education, reading books, taking online courses, or even going to events or learning from someone who is successful.
Rule number 8, be prepared to go through rejections.
Let's say your closing ratio is 25%. It means that you close 1 out of 4. You're pretty darn good, right? A 25% closing ratio. And let's say you want to close 100 deals, 100 sales. What does that mean? It means that to get that 100 sales, to get 100 yeses, you need to get 300 no's. You will not get to that 100 yeses without the 300 no's. I remember in the beginning of my career, I was selling and closing my own services on the phone. And every single time when I get a no, I would be so disappointed with myself. I would be very frustrated, right? I would get very upset. I would get angry. Why couldn't I close that sale? Then I would beat myself up. I would have a lot of self-doubt. But you see, because I didn't understand what I'm sharing with you right now, you cannot get to those yeses without the no's. It is part of the game. That's why we do what we do. To get to those yeses, you must go through a lot of no's.
Rule number 9, be prepared to make sacrifices.
I believe everyone could be an entrepreneur, but not everyone should be an entrepreneur. Just like anyone can play basketball, anyone could grab a ball and shoot some hoops, but not everyone would make it to NBA. Because you see, most people, when they see someone who is successful, who is a successful entrepreneur, anyone can start, right? You can start a business, sole proprietorship, incorporate, a few $100, a couple grand, when you are in business. Anyone can change the Instagram and say, hey, now I'm the founder and the CEO of whatever my company is. Low barrier of entry. But the problem is, starting out as an entrepreneur doesn't mean you'll last as an entrepreneur. See, most people, when they see entrepreneurship, they think, hey man, it's like this. I'm flying private jet, I'm going to the destination, I'm enjoying life. Life is good. That's not what entrepreneurship is. In fact, let me ask you a question. Comment below for my fans who follow my work, who are business owners, that you have started your own business, especially retail business. Comment below. Share your story. What is it really like to be an entrepreneur? If I was to ask you the question, why you want to start your own business, you might say, hey, I want more freedom. I want more free time, right? I want to make more money. Here's what happens after you start your own business. Before you start your own business, you're working 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, a typical job. It's fine. After you become an entrepreneur, now you're not working 5 days a week. You're not working 6 days a week. You're working 7 days a week. You're not working 8 hours a day. You're not working 10 hours a day. You're working 12, 14 hours a day. Making less money with a lot more stress and probably a lot more debt. Tell me this is not true, right? And you think it's gonna take you, oh, I'm gonna be successful in 1 year. You think it will take you 1 year. Turns out even after you're successful, it took you 5, 10, 15, 20 years. This is the glamour side. No one talks about the dark side, right? You've heard those statistics. 95% of small business fail in the first 5 years, right? Some people say 96%. The 5% that survives, it doesn't mean they're like thriving, they're just surviving. And big majority of that 5%, most of them don't make it. So you have to understand what you're getting yourself into.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is have fun.
Hi, Mr. Prospect. Hi, Mr. Prospect. How are you today, sir? Hey, Mr. Prospect. How are you today, sir? Okay, no sweaty palms. Oh my God, mustangs. Yes, 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 I can do it. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. I am a champion. I am a champion. Do 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 do. Okay.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Dan on how to figure out your magic number that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. How can you have more fun in your business? Number 2, how can you provide better customer service this week? And number 3, what's one simple change you can make to your environment today?
You have to know your magic number. You have to know your magic number. I'm not talking about doing a magic trick. I'm talking about magic number, okay? What is a magic number? The reason you're not making the kind of money that you want to make is because you have not made it a must to continually increase the worth of your time. Hustling, working on things and a lot of activities, very busy, but you have not made it a must. It is not an intention, it is not a goal to continue to increase the worth of your time. Think about the people that you've just mentioned, the people that hustling hard all their lives. They are working hard, but they never slow down and step back and say, what can I do to increase the value of my time? What can I do to improve my earning potential?
Right.
They never asked it. They just, you know what? If I'm making minimum wage with one job, let me just get a second job. That's hustling. Versus, hey, you know what? The hourly rate that I'm making, this is not enough. What can I do to be worth more? It's a very different way of thinking.
Hi, this is Dan Lok. If you're a fan of Evan's work, if you want to know exactly how to model my success, I want to invite you to join me for a special online training. All you have to do is click on the link below. You can join me for absolutely no charge. So click on the link below and I will see you in class.
And if you want more Dan Lok, check out the top 50 rules for success video I made on him. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Many years ago, I had this conversation with my mentor, and he asked me the question, Dan, what do you think is the number one quality of an entrepreneur?